What's going on, guys? So, hot off a win from locals this week. We got Perth Pro Players team member Jimmy here.
And the captain.
The captain, that's it. What were we playing, my dude?
So, we were playing the one, the only Jiren. So, good leader. Aggressive. Very aggressive. I'll just jump straight into it. So,
what does leader do? Maybe explain.
So yeah, that's what I was saying. I'll jump
new.
straight into it. So here we go. It has first effect, the auto is a spirit boost 1, meaning you neg 1 marker off your unison, and you get to pay the X evolve cost of a Jiren card on top of a Jiren card, right? And then from that effect, you get to then plus 1 marker off the unison, which I'll go through in a second. So because it's an auto, it's not a once per turn. It can be very effective. It's good. It can shift the game completely into your favor on your opponent's turn, which is quite brutal. The activate main as well, that's once per turn. You take 1 life to hand, look up to the top 7 cards of your deck and play a 1-cost red Universe 11 card in rest mode. So obviously this searches out the Jirens, but if you want to flex something else, that's a Universe 11 1-cost. It can be quite beneficial to play out such cards like the Kunchis to give them barrier, and then you still plus a card back off that. The Awaken is untap 1 and draw 1, which is good. That part is balanced, because if it was untapped 2, it'd just be broken. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
The Awaken side still keeps the effect of the Spirit Boost, like I just explained earlier. But the other auto is quite interesting because it is Jiren to his unstable might on what he can actually do, which is buffing him up to 25k. So basically, when you X evolve a Jiren card on your turn, he gets a plus 5k boost for the turn, only in your turn, but it's a limit too, so you can only do it twice. So you can get up to a 25k base from just simply X evolving. That's quite huge for a leader. And obviously, when he attacks, draws a card. Your generic stuff. Alright, let's get into the deck. So we play 4 Toppos. What was that one again? The Force of Obliteration. I even forgot my own bloody deck already. So he's a specified cost of 1, which is nice. Obviously the 5k base power is a little bit, I find difficult at times to run off, but he does gain the markers quite quick. So this is the main unison that you do want to run the deck. What I have other thoughts of is the King Piccolo, but we'll go down that track another time. So Toppo's unison is once per turn. When you X evolve a card, he gains plus 5k and a marker back. So it bounces off the Spirit Boost, as you can see. So when you're paying it to X evolve, you'll gain that marker back off his auto effect. But that's only once per turn. Once in your turn, once in your opponent's turn. Activate main plus 1 is you play a 1-cost red Universe 11 card from your hand in rest mode at the end of turn. So this is how you're building your board quite quick, right?
And that's how you're going to facilitate.
Obviously, from this effect, activate main, and then off Toppo's effect. And this is what can lead to a little bit more other options, which I'm going to show you how my deck's built in a second. And then he's neg 7.
How often does that come up?
95% of the time you will not use this.
Yep.
It's that 5% time if you think you're at that point at 7 markers or more, you neg your opponent. So the effect is, I'll go through it first, is that it burns your opponent 1 damage if they've got 3 or more life. So ideally you want to get them down to 2. If they're at 3, to obviously swing for game with a double strike. You're not really in that position most times. You want to use the markers to benefit off other things that this goes with the deck. Which I'll show you now. So the 1 costs that we run with this, I'll push this up here, push this here, push these up here. 2 of the Kunchi basically gives all your Universe 11s that are 1 cost barrier, not himself, draws a card.
Do you find 2's enough?
2 is good.
Yeah, you wouldn't run 3 or 4?
I don't think I'll run 3 because the only thing really benefiting off it is the draw, because everything's played in rest mode anyway, so it can kind of like cut you down a little bit. So people can still swing into your Jirens because they know what they can do. But obviously this is why the Spirit Boost is actually becoming quite huge. It's pretty broken at this stage. So we got 4 of each, 1-cost Jirens. We got the Thirst for Power, and we got the Avenger. So the Thirst of Power, obviously that gains the 4-cost Jiren in your hand with an evolve cost of 3 on top of him. That's his permanent effect. You won't use that effect. You've got to be dumb to use that effect. No. The other auto is look up to the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 Jiren card to hand, so it gets any Jiren card in the deck, or a specified cost of 1 unison, which is your Toppo. So if you don't have your Toppo, turn 1, you get this out, you can search out for the Toppo straight off the bat, off the effect of leader to kind of, get the ball rolling quite quick. The other Jiren here, the Avenger, when he's played, he draws a card, but he does have a limit 1 on his activate main, because the activate main is really good. So this is where it searches out any Jiren card through your deck for a 5 or less though.
Yep.
So this is what finds your pieces and can make this deck very consistent, right? And it's actually quite similar to Red Broly in the sense, the Red Broly BR, because you're always drawing, you're always finding your pieces. So what you're playing, you're getting that back.
Cool. So do you always try to keep one of these guys in opening hand? With the Toppo, pretty much?
Most of the time,
Yeah,
I will always keep at least this one or this one in hand.
Yeah.
Just so that I can just play it off his effect.
Yeah. Will you hard mulligan for those cards?
Yeah.
If you don't see him?
I will hard mulligan for the Toppo.
Okay.
Because most of the time with the leader, you're going to gain a life, that could be it, and you're going to look up to the top 7 to get that Jiren off the bat.
True. So you just always hard mull for leaders.
Yeah, exactly.
For unisons.
For the unison.
Yeah.
Because the unison's really what you're going to do here because of the spirit boost.
Yes.
This is all going to play an effect in a second. So the 4 cost here, the Jiren Devastating Might, this is the X Evolve for nothing. Next 10k off the auto and draws you a card back. Then off that, you get the +1 on your Toppo leader. So this is where it starts building up the markers quite quick. Off the Spirit Boost, when you activate it, you neg 1, you play this straight off the bat, you neg 10k or something, draw off a card. It's really nice, it really is.
Oh, we're not playing.
The other one that evolves on that is the 5 cost here, Jiren Surge of Strength. Now he can tap 1, his X Evolve is on a 1 or a 4 cost. He gives plus 1,000 to a red Universe 11 card, or I think a red card in general. I just need to quickly just double check this again. Your lead, if your leader card's Universe 11, the leader card or the battle card gets plus 1,000 power.
So it's kind of like a little bean almost.
It's like a little bean, and it draws you a card back.
Yeah.
Very effective. Dual attack, 19k, it's very nice. Permanent effect though is huge in this situation because this is where the Jiren sticks to the board. So if your opponent's going to try and remove it by a skill, you can just simply use his permanent effect by removing 2 cards from underneath him to the drop or take a life.
Yeah.
Most of the time, 99% of the time, you are going to take the life, get it close into Awaken.
Yep.
You don't want to lose those 2 cards underneath him because then you will lose the ability off your 8 cost to remove marker to restand, obviously. So this is where it can get a bit tricky, understanding on what you need to do exactly for the evolution sort of things. But it's very good, very strong, it comes out very quick. Obviously by turn 2, you're booming. Now, I managed to also get already 2 promos.
Now, how needed is this, do you think?
From judging from my plays tonight, I've only used it once.
Okay.
The situation being when they removed a 5 cost from my from play because they KO'd it.
Yep.
And I couldn't out combo it at the time. This is where he comes in handy because of the activate main on this guy. He can fish him out.
Yep.
Get him back from hand, so you can tap 1 to play him back out, draw a card. If you got another one in drop, sink him to the deck, grab the 5 cost, obviously discard a card from hand because of that activate main, and then you X Evolve him for free.
Which is awesome.
Top 7, grab another Jiren back to hand. So
you're not really losing much.
You're not losing much, and then you can just go straight back into the 8 cost.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But at this stage, 2's probably where it's at the moment. I feel you can see how you can run with maybe 3 or a playset guys, but the other 5 cost is just simply better.
Yeah. So you think 2's enough?
2 is enough because no matter what, you're either going to draw into it with the amount of draw power you have in it. I know a lot of people have been saying that the deck is faulty on draw, but you don't realise that it's not that you're plussing, it's that you're drawing back every time you play.
Yeah.
And then you're searching.
Yep.
So you're essentially not losing anything to that.
Which is
and
great.
That's where...
Especially in aggro,
especially for an aggro deck,
Yeah.
and then when you dump this guy out, that's where it changes
You're
everything.
in a good situation for
So
sure.
we basically here got an SR at a secret rare level, right?
You mean a secret rare at an SR level?
Because
That's what I mean.
because for the fact that now he has the limit 1 year, obviously you can only evolve him once per turn. But the fact that he comes out for 2 on a 4 or a 5, negs 35,000 ignoring barrier is huge, right? Double strike, 35,000. And then after you swing, you activate main, you take 1 card from underneath him, place it in the drop area, he restands, and then gives your leader another plus 5k boost.
Yeah.
So this is where, when you're beefing up your leader, right, like I said, the limit 2 per turn can get to 25. This makes him get to 30 base.
Wow.
Right? So a 30 base leader is quite huge, and that's where stuff like, you know, when you're tinkering around with the deck, something like that one-off Further in Destruction can be like a 40k double strike for 1 energy. It's just nothing. It's just huge. Nuts. But anyway, this card here, an SR at a secret rare level,
secret rare
that's where
SR
we're at.
level.
That's where we're at with this. It's just such a huge card. Now, Pride of Universe 11 Jiren. It was quite funny because this card was being said, obviously, around everywhere, how this is going to be such a big card in this deck. Well, it is, right? I thought of this play as soon as this card came out, obviously, because I've always been tinkering with Jiren. The fact that it's activate main, you discard this card from your hand and play 2 1-cost Universe 11 cards from your drop area with the skills negated for the turn. In active mode is just awesome because this what can just start off your chain off the back if you've lost your Jiren. It's massive. Like, so you do this, activate main, discard him, you play 2 1-costs out. Just quickly bring him out here, there, and there. So you can play these 2 off this effect from the drop and then start your X Evolve chain all over again. Yep. And like I said, when you're doing this, you're still drawing off the effects, right? Because you're discarding 1 card to play 2, you're X Evolving. Every time you X Evolve, you're gonna draw a card back anyway.
Yeah.
So this is where it's starting to get a little bit, you know, like keeping the hand advantage at the same time in an aggro deck up. So this card's huge in this deck, absolutely huge. There's like not a time that I did not think I, you know, did not need this. I need this.
Yeah.
This card's probably one of the most most
MVP
needed
of the
cards
deck
in
kind
the
of
deck.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps the secret rare if you're going to run the secret rare. Their CR,
Yes.
Goku Frieza.
Yes.
So you can these combo with more pieces from board, right? Because you can't combo from hand. Now this is a little spice I chucked in it, Mercenary Towel. Obviously, if you've got 3 or more battle cards in the battle area, you play this for free, gains critical, 15 crit. Because we're going for more power aggro, obviously effects here. We're trying to rush down our opponent, and this I saw in play a lot of times. It was such a good card. We know what it does, self-explanatory with that one. We got 3 Yamcha counterplays. Saw this card a lot. Free play off the unison, so basically you're just building your board as you're going along, counterplaying, playing stuff for free, and that's what. And you know, an aggro deck that can play stuff for free, it's nuts. And we all know this from Vegeks and stuff.
Yeah, was Yamcha live most of the games?
Half the games
Yeah.
it was live. Yeah, half the games. I played 2 Secret Identities.
Yep, just a bit of removal.
Card's huge in the deck, man. Free,
sure.
25,000, another beater. Remove 6, up to 6. Helps you get rid of those little knickknacks or any blockers or anything on board that might, you know, slow you down.
Yeah.
So this is the card. That's why I thought I'll run 2 of them.
For
Good
sure.
card. Good
For
card.
sure.
3 difference of stats as well.
So you really like this card?
This card's huge. I love this card. This card's one of my favorite cards.
Yep.
Neg 5k on the attacking card, and then Spirit Boost X. So you move that certain amount of markers. So each marker you remove negs 5k to the additional cost of the marker you're going to remove. Meaning you're going to pay 2 or 3 markers off your unison. You're gonna neg an additional 10 to 15k off another card, another battle card. So you can essentially clear a 25, 30k card.
Yeah. What's
Easy.
the biggest you've hit with a minus here?
35,000.
Okay.
Triple strike baby counterplay 5.
Sure. All right. Huge.
Because I managed to build my Toppo up
Unison
to about 7 markers.
Yeah.
So I negged 5k on the swing and then just additional 30k
Awesome.
off that.
Awesome.
Testing the opposition as well.
Great negate.
Great card.
Yeah.
Obviously, 5 or less life. Take a life, negate the attack, play a blocker.
It's almost staple.
So-
Like, at least one in most
Yeah.
decks.
So
but-
as you can see, guys, with the deck on it, what I'm going with here is a lot of stuff is free. So even though I'm going in aggro, and I can afford, as you can probably see, to tap out because then I'm keeping myself to that point on the. I don't want to get on the clapback.
yeah.
So if I've got options like this off my unison with the difference of stats, the testing the opposition, stuff like that, it can kind of help you get through to that next turn, which has actually helped me out a lot, this card.
Awesome.
So, but I only play 2 of them in the deck, so because you don't want to clutter it too much. Freeze's Death Ball, 2 of them. Beautiful
Self-explanatory.
card. Self-explanatory. Plus 15, neg 10k of
Yeah,
battle card.
for sure.
Beautiful card. And then obviously we went for the 4 Raditz super combos instead of those Cocodes because that's just simply a better card. Sync
Yep.
1, draw 2.
For sure.
And the Piece d'Order Resistance. I play a Secret Goku Freeze.
Yeah, awesome. And this card is pretty clutch, eh?
Card's clutch, man. In
Yeah.
my last game against Dark Sin, they can't counter it, they can't block it. 40k dual attack. I ditched the yellow Jiren promo from hand to play 2 more 1 cost on the board to give
Combo
it then up to
them off.
50k.
Yep.
Combo them off and then burn them for 1.
Huge.
GG.
Huge. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Well, there we go, guys. There's the deck. Jimmy, any shout-outs before we get going?
So I'd just like to shout out to my team, Team PX3. Guys are amazing, awesome support that they do for the community. I'd like to shout out our sponsor, Indy from Team Card Titan, doing awesome things there. And just the Perth community in general. And,
Awesome.
and we're actually also good games.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, there we go, guys. If you like this content, please remember to subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.